Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of HT Supercross. My name is JeffH3962. I run HaloTracks.org and I'm a co-leader in HT Supercross, and I'm also commentating this today as I have for the past 13 races, even though we did miss one, race 5, but nevertheless, I'm here and we're gonna have a great time. So Pancake Muffin actually is not here today. He's on vacation, which could leave the door wide open for Soda Pop to get another win and be that much closer to clinching his second consecutive title. But this is a highly competitive season, and we've seen some pretty crazy stuff happen so far. So Soda Pop, his destiny isn't quite sealed yet. In fact, I'm not really a believer in destiny. I'm a believer in skill and how you perform on the track. But it's still anyone's game, and the thing that Pancake really wants is for Soda Pop not to win. This is just a lag test right now. We'll be starting the race here momentarily, and while we do that, I'd like to thank the time to take you for watching this race and for putting up with my mumbled jumbled vocabulary, and it's probably going to happen quite a bit. I was out having another great time last night, but luckily I don't feel that bad, so this should be okay. So we're probably going to let these guys go on one lap and the lag test, and then proceed with Heat 1. Heat 1 is actually, for lack of a better word, stacked. We have 4 of the top 5 in this. Actually, 3 of the top 5 in this. No, we don't. We actually only have 2 of the top 5, but we have other contenders as well. Soda Pop, Gogeta, and Soli. Yes, we do have 3 members in the top 5 on the leaderboards in this heat, as well as some other dominating, well, what could be dominating forces later down the road, like Shadow Forges and The Office, who has gotten a lot more consistent and is steadily improving his game in HT Supercross and becoming a delight to watch. I say that in a plutonic way, because we have to be careful about what you say on here. But anyway, terrible dark jokes aside, looks like the lag test is over. Went over pretty smooth, and we'll be starting Heat 1 very shortly. Interesting fact about this season while we wait for it to start. Every single race so far, we needed to do qualifying races, also known as heats for anyone not familiar with Supercross terminology. And that's never happened in HT Supercross before. We've actually never had that. Last season, I think we went maybe somewhere between four to 6 races where we had to do heats, and then it kind of died down. But this season has been wildly successful. We've had a lot of competition, a lot of participation, and in fact 9 of the top 10 racers have podiums. If you do not have a podium, the chances of you being in the top 10 are actually pretty slim. Alright, graphics out. We're looking over the whole shot right now. Switch views really fast. The teleporters in this on this version of the track aren't that great. I will go into him backwards unless I turn around and walk into him forwards. So just bear with me here. We'll try not to lose these guys as we turn around. I don't think it'll be a problem, but the gate will drop any second now, and Heat 1 will begin on race 13 with only 4 races left. Alright, gate's gone. Racers are exploding out of the gate, and Soli is going to take this whole shot with no riders going off the berm right there, but a little bit of chaos over the first section. Also a little bit of lag going on right now that looks to be headers. Mad Nuked Ice Cream and Soda Pop Remix gets sent off the track. This race might head into a restart. There is a pretty decent amount of lag, and it will restart. So we're going to come back with a second attempt in Heat 2. A little bit of lag issues right there. Definitely not as smooth as the lag test. That's, in a word, ironic. But kudos to the host of this race, Purple Dinosaur, for recognizing that lag and for taking the proper action and restarting this race. Gotta have it smooth as possible. Make sure that it's fair. So here we go. We're going to try again. Hopefully Halo 4 gets itself situated, the servers that it rests on. Which means you get to see awesome graphics one more time. I'm sure that's what you all come to the stream to watch, is the awesome HT Supercross graphics, not really the racing. The racing comes second. I'm of course kidding. Pretty much the same spawn that I got last time. Hopefully that's not foreshadowing of any kind, but the gate time on this is completely random. This is a part of a new game type released just a little over a month and a half ago by Lazy Algorithm. This is called Race V2.1 and includes the option for random object disappearing. So, the gate's gone, and Nuked Ice Cream looked like he was lagging a little bit there. Soli's going to take the whole shot again. All racers pretty smooth so far. No issues with the lag. Purple Dinosaur is going to overtake 2 people. Headers Mad gets sent off the berm by the Soli, and then Soli cuts him off in the rhythm section. He was in first place, and now he's next to last. Soda Pop Remix is now in first place, trailed closely by Purple Dinosaur and Nuked Ice Cream as they head into the third rhythm section of the track. We'll go ahead and switch views and turn ourselves around. As Soda Pop starting to get a little bit of a lead, and Nuked Ice Cream trying to go on Purple Dinosaur's inside right here is going to get a pretty smooth pass on him. And Purple Dinosaur is going to OJ that and then be overtaken by Gogeta Rules after this jump is over. A little bit of the auto aim kind of tracking me away from the action right here, but Purple Dinosaur with an outside run right there, trying to get some room between himself and Gogeta, retake that position back. But Gogeta will hold him off, and then Purple cases that jump and is then overtaken by Office, putting him in 5th place right now. Your top 5 qualifying positions right now are Soda Pop Remix, Gogeta Rules, Office, Purple Dinosaur, Nuked Ice Cream, and now not Nuked Ice Cream, but the Soli. Current 5th place holder right now on the leaderboards, as we have a fairly large pack going over the whoop section right now. Everyone's relatively close to each other. It's still anyone's game, but Soda Pop and Gogeta are starting to gain a little bit of ground on people. Office cases that jump on an actual outside line, but the more skilled racers actually take it towards the inside. Basically, all they're doing is they're cutting in to the inside from the outside after they cross the finish line, so that they carry more speed in there and are able to do that double, but going onto the inside line, which makes it a little faster. So Soda Pop and Gogeta are actually, where's Soda Pop? Not exactly sure where Soda Pop is right now. Something happened to Soda Pop, and he's now he's fallen way behind the pack. If we did see it, I wasn't paying attention. But Purple Dinosaur is actually starting to work his way past people. Unless that's just the position that he's in right now. But he's currently in a fight with Shadow Forges right now. As Shadow Forges tries to edge him on top of the berm, put a little bit of pressure on it, but Purple Dinosaur keeps his cool. But then gets flushed to the outside. Shadow Forge is on his inside right now as they go over that. Purple Dinosaur is going to opt for the inside, hopefully keep his position, but it looks like Shadow Forge is going to overtake him on that back stretch. But Purple Dinosaur, with an incredible pass on the whoops, retakes his position from Shadow Forges, but OJ's that. OJ meaning overjump. And Shadow Forges regained some of that room back, and now is on the outside of Purple Dinosaur. We see racers lining up. This looks like it's going to be a staggered start. Something has gone down with lag that has warranted what looks like to be a staggered start. It looks like the lag issues aren't really dying down right now, but this heat is halfway over, and now from the staggered start, people are going to be closer to each other. So now there's even more chances of that pack being able to pass each other, get past, make tiny mistakes, and that can sometimes mean that you don't qualify. So with the staggered start, all racers need to line up exactly one mongoose length apart. The office is actually a little too close right now. We could back up, but Gogeta rules. Probably back up a little bit more as well, but it looks like the host is okay with it. And if you're curious about why we're doing a staggered start and not restarting it, that's because the race is more than 25% complete, which in an 8-lap race is anything after lap 2. So if 2 laps have been completed, then we'll do a staggered start. If not, we will restart the race because it has not progressed enough to warrant being restarted. To warrant a staggered start. Apologies. Alright, so with that explosion, our makeshift gate, Heat 1 is back underway. And Office with the outside right there is going to safeguard his position, but then overtaken on the berm by Purple Dinosaur and Shadow Forges. And then again by X the Soli, 5th place right now. That moves him well out of qualifying position as a rider goes down. That's Hatter's Mad off of the second section right there. Soda Pop Remix back in first place, still in first. Gogeta Rules in second, Purple in third, Shadow Forges in fourth, and Office moves back into a qualifying position, leaving the Soli in 6th place and sending him to the LCQ as long as he can hold him off. But Purple Dinosaur goes over that finish line double right there and then is overtaken by Soli, who goes for an inside move on Office and gets him. So we have a 3-way battle for 3rd place right now. As Office casing that a little bit, but Soli did as well. Whoever gets a better run through these could make an inside move right here, but it looks like they're not going to make it. Though Shadow Forges goes off of that rut a little bit and then is overtaken subsequently because of that tiny mistake. So Soli now in 3rd place, with Shadow Forges making a pass on teammate Office over the whoop section. They're all still in qualifying position, I believe. As long as Soda Pop is still in first place, yeah. So they're all in qualifying position still, and they've got some room on Nuked Ice Cream, Hatter, and Purple Dinosaur. But Purple Dinosaur should be able to make an inside move on Nuked Ice Cream right here, regain some of that position that he lost. But it doesn't look like it's really going to happen. So with only 2 laps to go, Soli's in 3rd place, Shadow Forge is in 4th, with his teammate Office, both racers for Rockstar Energy Racing KTM, run by Pancake Muffin, who isn't here, are right next to each other in this heat, and both looking to qualify. Office is going to make a pass on that whoop section, but then his front end goes up, wheelies out of that, loses a little bit of speed, and then is overtaken by Shadow Forges. on the last lap, both of those racers are going to case it. Office is going to retake that position that he lost after doing the wheelie over the whip section to Shadow Forges. And this race should be more or less locked in, but Purple Dinosaur and Hatter have actually caught up a little bit. So if Office and Shadow Forges can't keep this up, Purple Dinosaur and Hatter could make a pass and move into that last transfer spot. But they're going to have to make a move really fast right now, as both Office and Shadow Forge is still comfortably ahead of them, and it looks like they're going to get it as long as they both go over this cleanly. Shadow Forge doesn't go over it cleanly, but not ugly enough to where he's going to lose that qualifying position. So after some delay, some interesting things that have happened, this race is actually still going on. Alright, so I guess this is the last lap. Sully only has seven points, so it looks like we're doing one more extra lap in this heat to make it a legitimate 8 laps. The lag has kind of screwed everything up. Nevertheless, position should be locked in towards the end of this race, or going into the end of this race. So with Soda Pop taking the number 1 transfer spot, Gogeta Rules with number 2, Sully in 3rd place, Office in 4th, and the final qualifying position is Shadow Forges. Purple Dinosaur ran a pretty solid race, but luck just wasn't on his side today. He was casing some jumps and over jumping others. So he will start the list of racers headed to the last chance qualifier. And with that, we'll head into our first break. We'll be back very shortly with the last chance qualifier. It's going to be another exciting race where only the top 2 are graced into the main. Alright everyone, we're back. And with our last chance qualifier, a lag test right now. We'll be starting this shortly, and you guys know the drill. So Castlefied and NJD, both very prominent racers in HT Supercross, are now in this race, but Castlefied did request that a wreck get reviewed. Not sure if that's gonna happen. That's really up to race hosts to decide. I'm gonna unplug my mic and plug it back in really fast. It's doing something kind of weird. Alright, there we go. That should fix it. So we've got a little bit more lag right now. This happened for both races that we've watched. Not really a frequent occurrence in HT Supercross having this much lag. And that would be our host, Purple Dinosaur, lagging out. So we'll get him back and retry this lag test and then start the last chance qualifier as long as it goes smoothly. So adding on to the fact that I mentioned earlier, before we started Heat 1, see if I'm the leader right now. Nope, I am not the leader. We have not garnered anything less than 17 signups. We got pretty close today, but some last minute signups helped us out, keep that trend going. Adding to the statement and the fact, the very true fact, that this season has been the most successful season in HT Supercross history. So we're going to wait for Purple Dinosaur to get back and start this out. So favorites to win this last chance qualifier for me, Castlefied and NJD. Though Purple Dinosaur and Shift Faced could give them a run for their money if they can get a decent start. Because both of them are very solid racers, but NJD practices tracks pretty frequently. I'm not too sure what Castlefied is doing, but he's still a very good racer, and as long as he's had a couple laps on this, he's already done the heat, he should be fine. Lobby sitting is always kind of a bummer, but that's just unfortunately a part of HD Supercross and a part of any experience, any competitive experience within Halo 4. For anyone watching right now, watching a stream is one thing, but living it is something else entirely. We're always accepting new people into HT Supercross. As the intermission hinted at. And we'd love to have you here. Follow the steps if you're able to catch the first intermission information. Go to halotracks.org, create or sign into an account. And then go over to halotracks.org/HTSX. And there you'll find a members list topic, and that's what you need to do to sign up, and you'll be with us. Alright, so I just got word from Purple Dinosaur that his Xbox, and I quote, just derped. While he's the host of this, he's also a participant. So, Castlefied is perfectly capable of hosting this, and in any other circumstance, if Purple Dinosaur was here to just watch, or to just be a host, we would let Castle do it. But since Purple Dinosaur is participating, we're going to wait for him to come back and get this thing started as soon as we possibly can. If you have any questions about HT Supercross, go ahead and ask them by tweeting to @halotracks_org. We're working on getting the other name for Twitter back. Our original Twitter was @halotracks, and this is actually our second account. And we're working on trying to get the just @halotracks back. But you can tweet to us again at @halotracks_org, ORG, or ask your question in the stream. I'll be checking those periodically, and I'll try to answer your questions to the best of my ability. And if I'm not answering it, some of our racers do watch this stream, and they're very knowledgeable about HT Supercross, and they'll be able to help you out. Still waiting for Purple Dinosaur to get back. We'll get this started as soon as possible, but he is back on Halo 4, so that's good news. Castlefied was in the top 5 early on in the season, but has since lost that sometime before the end of the first half of Season 7. Is now trying to find his way back into the top 5. And if you're curious about what the top 10 is, we have a leaderboard graphic that we'll be displaying sooner and going more into the leaderboards with detail before the main event during that lag test. But if you want to know the top 10 right now, in first place is Soda Pop Remix, and second, I'll go over the points too. In first place is Soda Pop Remix with 112 points. Pancake Muffin follows him in 111 with 111 points. In third place is Gogeta Rules with 97, so that's a significant separation between second and third right there. In fourth place is Shazzle4, 10 points behind Gogeta with 87. The Sully in fifth, only 1 point behind Shazzle. with 86. The closest to them is 6 points down. That is NJD, who is currently participating in this last chance qualifier with 80 points, and Castle is in 7th behind him with 76. King Edward is 2 points behind Castle with 74 in 8th place. In 9th is the Office 1808 with 71. And finishing it off in 10th place, the only participant in the top 10 that does not have a podium in Season 7 is BXA Real Deal D, who has qualified for the main event in Heat 2. Monster Energy Kawasaki actually almost has all 4 of their members in the top 5. If NJD can somehow get into 5th place, either this race or the next race, and knock Sully out, then Monster Energy Kawasaki will have participants in 1st, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, leaving tactical advantage riders Sully and Castle close to each other in 6th and 7th. But the battle for 1st is also a battle of wins right now. Again, we'll go over that more in detail before the main event. But the only possible way that both Soda Pop and Pancake Muffin can overrule a position is by winning, because both of them have at least 4 wins, and at this point both of them have 5 second places. So we calculate the top 8 finishes and up to 8, so it won't go past 8, which lets you overrule a previous position if you finish better. Let's say you did better in race 12 than you did in race 2. That position would be overruled, and your leaderboard score would be recalculated. So this may or may not be a lag test. This should be a lag test. If it's not, we'll go ahead and call this normally. So, in case it's not a lag test, Nuked Ice Cream right now is in 1st place with Castlefied in 2nd, NJD sitting behind Purple Dinosaur. Actually, I'm gonna go find out if this is a lag test really quick, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so this is the real thing. So let's go ahead and start being a little serious about this. Castlefied in 1st place right now, followed by Nuked Ice Cream in 2nd, that last transfer spot, with NJD trying to find his way up to Nuked Ice Cream and retake that position back. But Purple Dinosaur is behind NJD, giving him a run for his money. And both he and NJD get around Nuked Ice Cream, who goes down right there. And now NJD moves into the last qualifying position with Purple Dinosaur not too far, but he does, and then gets sent off the berm. So belay whatever I was saying, Purple Dinosaur is now well out of qualifying position right now. Castlefied still in 1st, and NJD in 2nd place as we switch views here. Castlefied about to enter the whoop section with NJD about 2 to 3 seconds behind him. About 2.5 seconds behind Castlefied right now is NJD, and gaining some room on him right there. Over jumping that tabletop loses a little bit of time, but overall is gaining on Castlefied right now. And is now only about a second behind Castlefied. So he's already closed a 1.5 seconds on him so far in this battle for 1st place, but at least 2nd place. Realize that we also have our music still on. I'll go ahead and fix that. So a little bit of craziness right now because of that lag and not very good communication. We'll get better at that in the future, I assure you. So NJD still in second place, Nuked Ice Cream in third, and Purple Dinosaur pretty much in the same spot that he was when he went down in at the end of lap 2. But NJD goes into the tough block, and Nuked Ice Cream gets around him cleanly as NJD gets pretty anxious backing up right there. Almost took the entire width of the section to do it. But NJD's trying to get his position back right now, and then doesn't do it because he cases one of the jumps on the first rhythm section and loses his position to Nuked Ice Cream, and now is going to lose his position to Purple Dinosaurs. Purple Dinosaur forces him to the outside right there, leaving NJD to lose a lot of time, and with only 2 laps left, Nuked Ice Cream is in that final transfer position, and main event guaranteed. Might be guaranteed a main. As long as Nuked Ice Cream can keep this up, NJD is going to need to get around Purple Dinosaur, and then he's going to need to work his way up past Nuked Ice Cream with only 1 lap to go, but casing that. Doesn't look like NJD has a Lady Luck on his side for this one either. So both Purple and NJD are going to go for the outside line right there. Purple is starting to gain a little bit of ground on Nuked Ice Cream. But Nuked Ice Cream has enough space where as long as he can keep it consistent and hold it together, he should be qualifying for the main event. Traversing the whoop section cleanly. Little too fast on that slow ride right there, but he is gonna make a decent ride into the main event as Castlefly takes that first transfer spot. Nuked Ice Cream with the final one, Purple Dinosaur and NJD with a pretty tough break that race. Not qualifying, as well as Hatter is mad. I'm So Shift-Faced, who we barely saw throughout that race, also gets DQ'd. So it's pretty hectic. Hard to keep up with some of the things that go on in here, especially when the commentator is pretty much running everything. So I do apologize for that little mess up. We'll improve on the host-to-commentator communication in the future. And we'll also be right back with the main event. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, pretty short intermission. That's the way that I like it in HD Supercross. I'm sure that's the way you like it as well. We're doing the lag test. This is a lag test. This is not the real thing, of that I am certain. So, I said about 2 to 3 times already that we'll go over the leaderboard more in detail, and helping us out is a pretty little picture. So Soda Pop Remix is still only 1 point ahead of Pancake Muffin, even though he would be 2. Pancake Muffin had a minor intentional wreck benefit in the last race, still leaving him only 1 point behind Soda Pop. Gogeta Rules did not change his point value. Oh my god. Sully just went really high. But Shazzle has overtaken Sully for 4th place, and that's something that's been happening quite a bit this season. Those two have been fighting for 4th place for a pretty decent amount of time so far this season. For all of you just joining us, I'm Jeff H3962. I'm commentating these races. As per usual in HT Supercross, we are in our 13th week in HT Supercross, a squad on halotracks.org right now. And this season has been very exciting so far. We've seen more participation than ever. We've seen a racer going backwards in a lag test. And the level of excitement is just through the roof. So that lag test seemed to be pretty smooth. There shouldn't be a need for another one. And we'll be starting this main event very, very soon. This race is brought to you by Bitch Racing Incorporated, headed by Gogeta Rules. Bitch Racing, anyone can be a bitch. That, for anyone curious as to why I am using profanity, that's Gogeta's nickname. It's one that he's been forced to grow accustomed to. When the camaraderie that is halotracks.org and the HT Supercross. Alright, here we go. Alright everyone, it's time. Racers are lined up at the gate. Well, if you can call that being lined up at the gate. And this main event will be starting here very shortly, as long as these people can get situated. The gate's gone, but that will for sure be a restart. No reason why that wouldn't be a restart. So we're gonna try this one more time. No lag right there. But there also shouldn't be any confusion to why we need a restart. Nobody could get lined up. Sometimes that happens. Alright, here we go. Second try. Alright, so we're back. Looks like the gate is a little more organized this time. I think what happened last time is that racers were just trying to switch where they were. Doesn't look like the spawns are really that messed up, so it looks like people just weren't really happy where they were, trying to get over and then couldn't get back in time. So the gate's gone. Nuked Ice Cream right now could have a hole shot with this, but Soda Pop on that inside is going to take it away. Not exactly sure who got the hole shot there. It was pretty close, but it looked like Soda Pop was a little bit ahead of Nuked Ice Cream. Nuked Ice Cream actually in first place right now with Shazzle 4 behind him as they head in to the third rhythm section of this track right now. Roaring Mongoose is passing by. So we'll go to the other view of the track and hear it one more time. as this race heads into the whoop section with Shazo 4 almost going down, but trying to get back on, trying to make sure that he wasn't rolling, sends Soda Pop a little bit wide, and then inadvertently goes down himself because of it. So Calcified's going to try to make an outside move on Soda Pop right here, but Soda Pop, anticipating that move, holds him off, securing his third place for the moment. Go ahead and switch views again. Nuked Ice Cream is still in first place with another main event guaranteed rider, Hero 365, right behind him. And lap 1 has been completed. We're now on lap 2. Your top 3 is finished with Soda Pop. Calcified not too fast over that rhythm section, over that back rhythm section right there. Loses a little bit of time, and his teammate Sully is starting to gain a little bit of ground on him and could make an inside move off of this, but not gonna go for it. As we see racers starting to go down right now, Nuked Ice Cream heads into a tough block and then is overtaken by Soda Pop and Calcified. Soda Pop now in second place with Hero in first, trying to hold him off for as long as he can. But Calcified is now really close to Soda Pop and starting to pressure him on his inside as they exit out of rhythm 2. Actually, I'm not really sure that that's a rhythm section. Actually, yes, it is a rhythm section. That would definitely constitute as a rhythm section. So Calcified is still behind Soda Pop, as both Soda Pop and Castle go over that cleanly. Heading over the whoop section, Nuked Ice Cream a little bit faster than Calcified, gains a little bit of ground, solely trying to pass Nuked and get him out of there so that Calcified can have a clean run on catching up to Soda Pop. But casing that, losing a little bit of time, Nuked Ice Cream on Calcified's inside makes a pass, but Calcified's gonna retake that back. But Nuked Ice Cream with a really smart move, making sure that Castle didn't cut him off, heads to the inside, but that ends up not working very well for him as he goes down, almost goes down, casing that jump, leaving Sully and Gogeta Rules a little bit closer, and doesn't get around that turn very smoothly at all either. So losing even more time, Gogeta Rules a little bit into the bordering right there on the turn, but nevertheless fine and still in competition, doing a pretty crazy whip. That's some style points right there. Gogeta Rules is racing this one with style. Sully goes down, overtaken by Nuked Ice Cream, and also overtaken by King Edward, with Gogeta Rules still behind him, and Shazo 4 also win that mix. Soda Pop has moved his way into first place past Hero 365, who goes down and is more than likely going to be overtaken by Calcified on this next turn, as Calcified does have a better run through him, and Hero safeguards that inside. He doesn't let Castle get around that turn very quickly at all. And we'll go back to this main pack. Gogeta Rules trying to make his way past King Edward now, with Shazzle right next to him. King Edward going for that inside, and then nobody really gives each other enough room right there. Shazzle goes down. That's just something that happens. It didn't look like it was really anyone's fault per se, but we'll let whoever reviews that, if it gets called, be the final judge of that. So King Edward now is in fourth place. Actually, he is in fifth place, with Sully trying to make an inside move on Gogeta Rules right there. He's opting for that inside line, and then gets around a little bit faster. Soda Pop in first place, with Hero in second, and Calcified in third still. That hasn't really changed, apart from the gap in between them. King Edward. Oh, and Nuked Ice Cream is... Oh, no, that's Hero, not Nuked, but here... That looked kind of crazy. I thought that Hero felt the swift hand of Buddha right there and was sent into the air. He is having some lag issues right now and starting to fall behind the pack because of it. We are on lap 7 now, with 6 laps completed in a 20-lap race. Bean05 of Main Event Guaranteed is currently sitting in last, as this race is still relatively close to each other. Hero has fallen back quite a few positions. He's now outside of the top 5. We'll need to find him here. This race is pretty chaotic. So Office has moved past King Edward, And that should put Office in 4th place with Edward in 5th place right now. So that would be your top 5. Hero in 6th place, falling back 5 positions from that lag. But he does get a better run through that section than his teammate Nuked Ice Cream, who is going to be overtaken by Shazo4 and in danger of being passed by Gogeta Rules. They're both going to take the outside right here. Gogeta Rules is going to finish that pass being on Nuked's inside. But Nuked actually takes that berm very quickly and holds off Gogeta. So Nuked hasn't been passed by Gogeta just yet. He's holding his own so far in this main event. So Office and Hero are now fighting. Edward has gotten his way past his teammate Office. His Hero still having a little bit of lag issues. Castlefied in 2nd place, and Soda Pop about half a section. Actually, he's about a full section ahead of Castlefied now. Castlefied is about half a section ahead of Sully. Almost a full section, getting there. About 3/4 of a section ahead of him. Go ahead and switch to this other view. Do apologize that I have to turn around. It gets kind of crazy. So Edward is still in the top 5, as well as the Office. The top 5 right now, starting to creep in on Castlefied. Castlefied seems to be making a few minor mistakes that are adding up. King Edward and Office both overjump that tabletop. It looks like they're trying to triple it, and in a perfect world, they would be. Unfortunately, Halo 4 doesn't really allow us, the opportunity to, shift gears, work a clutch, seat bounce, do any of that. It's really just push the stick forward, and whoever can do that best wins the race. It's pretty simple, but ends up taking a fair amount of skill, because it's not just your physical ability to move a stick back and forth really fast. It's also how and when you do it that determines how fast you are. But for the most part, everyone is on a level playing field. The mongooses all are the same speed. There's no tuning differences, because this is just Halo. This isn't a full-fledged racing game, but we do our best. So King Edward has actually started to make his way into Sully, and Sully is getting closer to Castlefied. Would be getting closer, but he's casing that first rhythm section with Edward now a little bit closer to him, and Office is in about the same spot that he was when we last reported on him. As they go into the 4th rhythm section. I do believe this is the 4th rhythm section. Yes, that would be the 4th rhythm section of this track. This track is very loaded with rhythm sections. Creates a very interesting race. A lot of opportunities for taking different lines and getting around people in unique ways. Something that we always like to see. So, Office has actually started to close the gap on Edward now. That's his teammate though, so don't expect any aggressive racing from the two of them, apart from getting past Sully, who cases the last jump on that rhythm section on rhythm 1, and going out of rhythm 2. Office and King Edward now right on his trail. So we'll switch views here and get you a better look right next to the whoop section. King Edward is going to have a really solid run through that. Office, not so much. But Sully has a better run over the tabletop section, and now Gogeta Rules and Shazo are looking to get in on this fight. Gogeta Rules now right behind Office and starting to put some pressure on him, mind the jump, and overtake him. And he is going to do that. He's going to overtake Office after Office cases the second landing, the landing to the second jump, or the first jump in that rhythm section. And Shazo4 is also overtaking him as well. With 13 laps completed and 7 to go for the leaders. This race is just starting to heat up. Not really. It's kind of been hot this entire time. We've seen a lot of packs. Edward and Shazo go down. Edward into a tough block. Shazzle overtaken by Nuked Ice Cream, or that would be Hero 365, not Nuked Ice Cream. And that disrupts everything going on in that pack right there, and now has dissipated into a battle between Gogeta Rules and Office for 4th place right now. Sully is right behind his teammate Castlefied as they go over the whip section. Sully with a better run through and on Castlefied's inside is going to try to make a pass right here. Still on his inside, should be able to complete this pass. Runs Castle a little bit wide, but he's going to go on the outside. Castlefied messing up right there, and then Gogeta Rules comes in, making 2 passes off of Castlefied's mistake that also cost his teammate some valuable time. So Gogeta Rules now back in 2nd place, as he just came out of nowhere with a move on Castlefied and Sully, putting not main event guaranteed, Monster Energy Kawasaki in a 1-2 spot so far with this main event, and Shazzle not too far behind. Well, 1-2-3 is possible, but Castlefied with a slightly better run through Gogeta and able to get on his inside. He's going to try to slow Gogeta Rules as much as possible, but he's not going to be able to, and then runs him completely off the track. That was an inadvertent wreck if I've ever seen one. That is going to totally screw up Gogeta Rules' race, as he was in 2nd place and now is not, after Castlefied makes an incredibly dirty move on Gogeta Rules, and that is going to cost him. Castlefied, though in 2nd place, is going to have that intentional wreck on him, possibly a major intentional wreck, more than likely a major intentional wreck. Office in 3rd place, with Shazzle right behind him in 4th, and Sully rounding out that top 5. Soda Pop has completed 16 laps and is now on lap 17, way ahead of everyone else. He pretty much has this race locked in, and Soda Pop will be taking his 6th win of the season. Shazzle 4 trying to go on Edwards on Office's inside right there, and ends up landing on top of him, not completing that pass and slowing him down just a tiny bit. Castlefied is still ahead of him, but Office with a faster run through that rhythm section is on Castlefied's inside. And though he's not a member of Gogeta's team, it'll be interesting to see if he enacts revenge on Castlefied, but it looks like he is going to do that, not giving him a whole lot of room right there. Gogeta Rules now making his way back past Castlefied very cleanly. That's good discipline by Gogeta Rules to not run Castlefied off of the track and to make sure that he's getting the points that he's more than likely going to get. Heading in to Shazzle's outside, and now on his inside, Shazzle is the only one taking the outside line on that rhythm section right there, with Office still ahead of him. And he is in 2nd place, Shazzle in 3rd, and Gogeta in 4th, with Castlefied in 5th right now, but he's gonna move back into 6th after being overtaken by his teammate the Sully. This race has been just incredible so far. So behind them, in 7th, we have King Edward, and Real Deal makes a really dirty move on King Edward right there, moving himself into 7th place and Edward into 8th. And Edward has had a lot of 7th place finishes so far this season. I believe he's had about 5. So if he can make his way past BXA, Real Deal Smooth Moves D, he could have his 6th, 7th place finish. But in this battle we have right here, this is a battle for Soda Pop making his way past Bean right there. Bean is currently in last place with his teammate Nuked Ice Cream in 11th. Soda Pop is in 5th place. Office is in 2nd. Way back there. There's Soda Pop. There's Office and Shazzle. So they have a long way to go on the last lap if they even want to catch Soda Pop. It's more than likely is not going to happen. But in this fight for 2nd, both Office and Shazzle are going for the inside right here. Shazzle not trying to make a move on Office at the end of Rhythm 1. And exiting Rhythm 2, Shazzle had a faster line through that section. Gogeta Rules is once again off the track. And another rider is off the track too. Not really sure who that is. But in a battle for second, Shazzle on Office is outside right now. But Office is going to try to hold him off on this last turn right here. This is a fight for second place. And it looks like Office is going to be the one to get that. On a really close finish between Shazzle and Office. From what I could see, Office did get second place right there, and Sully looks like he's going to get a DNF after quitting prematurely. I'm not sure if he finished all of his laps. So in first place, we have Soda Pop Remix, his 6th win of the season. He only needs 2 more to clinch. In second place, we have The Office, 1808 of Rockstar Energy Racing KTM. Shazzle 4, 2 riders from Monster Energy Kawasaki in the top 5. In third place, Castlefied in 4th. Real Deal in 5th. He passed Gogeta Rules after Gogeta went off the track there on the last lap. So Gogeta Rules is in 6th. Edward in 7th. His 6th, 7th place finish this season. Shadowford is in 8th. Not sure who that rider is. That could be Hero. It's probably Hero. Hero, Bean, and then Nuked Ice Cream. We'll update the unofficial results for this race. Come back with the post-race interviews. This has been an exciting ride. Well, that was an exciting ride for everyone participating. We hope that you enjoyed the race. We'll get those results updated again and come back with the post-race interviews.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, I'm here with Soda Pop Remix. Still says X Soda Pop 13X in the party. Not exactly sure why Xbox is refusing to update his gamer tag, but that doesn't change the fact that he takes another win, his 6th win of this season, and only 2 wins away from clinching his 2nd consecutive title. So Soda Pop, how's your confidence right now for getting just 2 more wins and walking away with another title?
I have to say I'm pretty confident. Me and my team have been trying to end the season off really good these last few races and trying to get ourselves on the podium. So we're just working together to try to do our best. And in terms of confidence, ultimately, I feel like I could definitely keep it up if I just keep trying as hard as I can, because AC Supercross is pretty tough.
Do you feel a lot of pressure, knowing that Pancake can still get, he can still steal the title away from you, but he has to win the remaining races. If he loses one, you pretty much have the title. So, have you feel that the pressure has gotten worse, or that it's been kind of lifted a little bit, knowing that you're just 2 wins away?
Honestly, it may be a comfortable gap thinking of that, or maybe a comfortable thinking that I have a little bit of room to not get some wins. But I mean, I'm not. The pressure's still high. Pancake. I mean, I don't care what situation you're in. Pancake keeps trying every single race. He never gives up. Pretty much, he's a really solid racer. He's always positive about stuff, and he'll always keep coming at you. So anything. So the way I look at it, anything can happen, and I'm not trying to let anything off because it's not over yet.
So, though your team pretty much has first place locked in the team standings, this late in the season, points aside, how important is having a good team that can back you up? And yeah, I guess that's just the best way to put it. How important are teams?
I'd have to say they're pretty important this season actually compared to last season because I mean it just helps having people that you can communicate to and practice with and work together with and just think of these nice strategies and plans. And I think it helps a lot also because if if you're not able to find like a good line or a safe line or something that's going to really help you in the race, maybe your teammate will find it and he'll tell you. I've had that happen many times with my team because Vegeta and Jeb are pretty smart racers, really smart racers actually, and we just help each other out, and I think it helps a lot with every single team.
Is there anything that you'd like to add?
Well, yeah, I'd like to thank, first I'd like to congratulate Office on second place. Pretty cool that he clicked off another podium, not gonna lie. And shout out to my teammate Jab, who podiumed because I'm really happy about that, especially because and I'm pretty sure he is. We've been trying to get Jab on the podium for the past few races now, but he's been on a 5th place streak. So definitely a huge congrats to Jab. And I'd like to thank the people who run HC Supercross. There's not been really any. There's never been any slacking so far this season. I mean, even Purple always posts a summary about the races and keep updating the leaderboards fairly quick, and everything runs really smoothly. So I have to thank you guys for putting so much work into this season. It's actually incredible.
Thank you. It means a lot to hear you say that. Thank you for coming out and being a participant. Bringing a lot more competition into the squad. It's always fun to watch.
Thanks.
Alrighty, so that, ladies and gentlemen, is Soda Pop Remix. First place winner, 6th win so far this season. Only 2 wins away from clinching his 2nd title in a row. Soda Pop, best of luck to yourself and the rest of Monster Energy Kawasaki and Race 14. Have a good day.
Thanks, Jeff.
Alright, we'll be back with a new person. The Office, 1808. We haven't had him in here yet, but we will have him here shortly. Alright, I am now here with the Office 1808. Before I ask the real questions, what exactly is the 1808? Why is that in your gamer tag? I'm sure everyone's curious.
Well, I'm not even quite too sure myself. I think my birthday is 1/8, January 8th, and then I like the number 8, I guess, so I threw that in there. I have no idea.
Alrighty, so now that we have a little bit of understanding of what that is, not an entire lot. This is Office's first second place this season. Office, huge congratulations on that. It's awesome to have you in here. Could you walk us through that race? Tell us what happened from beginning to last.
It was a very scrappy race, like Unrealistic said, I believe. I think on the first lap I was probably in like 6th or something like that. And then I wrecked and went down to probably like 10th. And slowly fought my way back up because there was a lot of wrecking going on, and I found myself in 2nd place, turns out, with a few laps remaining. And I held off Shazzle for the past 2 laps and actually barely beat him over the finish line, actually.
So having this really solid podium now in the bag, what does that do to your level of confidence for the rest of the season?
Definitely makes me more confident, obviously. So should probably be looking to even go for a win now, coming up in the next few races as the season winds down.
All right. So with Pancake not here right now, he needs 4 consecutive wins to be able to win this. So what does Rockstar Energy Racing KTM have in store for helping out Pancake as much as possible with the next 4 races this season?
Well, he obviously helps us. He helps us get our lines and stuff, but I don't know, we just really practice together, and that really helps us get some racing situations in and try to switch up our lines if we need to. And in the race, I don't know, just if he's behind us and we know that we're not faster than him, we'll obviously not try to wreck him and make sure that he can get by. But if we know that we're fast, and then we're obviously not going to let him by, but only if it's going to benefit us both, then we'll let him by.
Purely hypothetical question. Let's say it's the very last race. You're in first and Pancake is in 2nd place. You need first place to pass someone, but Pancake needs a first place to win the season. What would you do in a situation like that? Would you let him win, or would you take the position for yourself and further your score on the leaderboard? Just hypothetical.
Well, honestly, I probably would let him win if he was like right behind me, just because my position in the leaderboard doesn't matter as much when he could be going for $150, obviously.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why teams are a very important part of this season. So, Office, before we send this to Shazzle, is there anything that you'd like to say?
I appreciate Shazzle's good luck to me at the beginning of the race, and that did end up helping me beat him out in the long run. And yeah, I'd also like to thank my mom and dad for supporting me in all my riding.
Alright, so that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Office 1808, his 2nd podium this season. His other podium is a 3rd place, and now adds a 2nd place to that, and that should help him with the leaderboards quite a bit. He might even pass his teammate King Edward. We'll just have to wait and see what the official tally is on that. Office, thanks for speaking with us. Thanks for coming out. Best of luck to yourself and the rest of Rockstar Energy Racing KTM in race 14.
Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that.
Alright, man. Take it easy. Alright, so we have one person left. That is Shazzle4, currently in theater mode right now. After that, this stream will be concluded. I am here with Shazzle4, 3rd place finisher, and this is his 3rd podium and his third place so far this season. Shazzle, congratulations on getting that 3rd podium. Could you walk us through that race up until, from beginning to end?
Well, I got a good start. That didn't last long because I got squirrely in the whoops on the first lap, and then Photo Pop ran into me. And then from there on out, it was just a lot of wrecking. Not by me, but on me. And then the last 2 laps were pretty exciting because I caught up to Office and then took the outside on the whoops, and he was able to hold his line, and I screamed pretty much. Not really, it was more just a loud no.
So, how important is you said that you kind of let out a little bit of frustration, but how important is it to try to keep your cool in those situations where things just aren't going your way?
Well, I kept my cool pretty much. I mean, I was just um trying to keep it consistent and just pretty much wait until I was in a place to get a good finish, and I started pulling out the that risky line before the whoops, where you took like the inside and faded outside. Anyways, so I just saved that for the end. I caught up to Office. I mean, I was relatively quiet throughout the whole main event. It was just like in that last turn is when I let out some frustration.
Alrighty.
Good race though.
Yeah, it was a good race though. It was actually really entertaining. So, don't really have anything more for you right now. So, is there anything that you'd like to say before we send this broadcast off?
Um, no, not that I know of. By the way, quick question: are you reviewing the Rex? Is that how this is going?
I could.
Okay, because Edward sent me a message. Just shout out Office. Congratulations on his second podium, and thanks to you and Purple for running this. And hopefully it grows in the future and has a lot of success after I leave, eventually.
Alrighty. Thanks a lot. Means means a lot to hear you say that. We'll try to keep this squad going for as much as possible. Make sure that it stays fun for as long as possible as well. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is Shazzle with his third podium this season and his third place. That'll help him move away from Sully a little bit after they've been swapping positions for the past, I don't know, 4 to 5 races now. Shazzle, thanks for coming down, participating in race 13 and talking to me after the race was over.
Alright, thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
All right, and that will pretty much conclude this broadcast of HT Supercross. We are a halotracks.org squad, and if you want to join, we'd love to have you. Create an account on halotracks.org or log into an existing one, and then head over to the HT Supercross squad forum. Pro shortcut, you can just type in halotracks.org/HTSX into your browser. Find the members list topic, reply with sign me up in that, and that's pretty much all you need to do to join the squad. From there on out, when you see a new race posted, do the exact same thing that you need to do to sign up for the squads for that topic. Say sign me up, and you'll get an invite to the race. You'll get put into a heat, and you'll be able to experience it all for yourself. I'm Jeff H3962. I'd like to thank you all for coming out and watching this broadcast, and hopefully in enjoying the outcome, especially if you rooted for Soda Pop. Though they're not in the playoffs anymore, I'd like to give a special shout out to the Chicago Blackhawks. Don't worry, we're going to get it next year. And I am trying to start a sports debate in here. But in all seriousness, thanks again for coming out. Everyone, we'll be back next week with race 14. With another exciting edition of HT Supercross. Everyone have a good day. The X Games should be on right now.